like to introduce Larnie Aquino.
Hi.
And I'd like to introduce Florence Requepo.
Hello.
They have put together, along with their other team members, a poster called Factors Affecting Breastfeeding Among NICU Mothers.
That's
This
right.
is a very interesting study. It's different from most of the others that are here because it involves development of a measurement tool. And those are always interesting studies.
Let me tell you about it.
as they are learning. What I'd like to hear from you is what got you interested in the idea for this study in the first place? Your tool is measuring barriers to breastfeeding, but you're targeting mothers of babies in the NICU. So tell us a little bit about breastfeeding in the NICU and why we would need to measure barriers there.
I got the idea from this study a long time ago, like more than a year ago, when I attended a seminar, and it talks about breastfeeding and the benefits of breastfeeding, and I thought, wow, so much. But when we got to the NICU, although a lot of the nurses, a lot of the moms know the benefits of breastfeeding, but at some point, breastfeeding declines. And at discharge, there's a Mommy Project, which is called now Mom's Project, or Mom's Breast Milk.
Initiative.
It measured that the moms who are breastfeeding initially would decline down to 50% of our discharges that are still breastfeeding on discharge. So we want to find out what affects her motivation to breastfeed and to continue breastfeeding.
The mother's motivation.
Right, so this is where the study came about.
And me being a part of the breastfeeding committee, I've been a chair for maybe about more than 4 years now. I've gone through a lot of experience of a lot of moms needing help to get breastfeeding a success, even until the discharge, until they go home. So I'm so interested to get involved in this study to promote success of breastfeeding in our NICU, being a baby-friendly hospital as well.
Okay. Tell us what you mean by baby-friendly hospital.
That we concentrate on getting our moms to breastfeed, whether they're pumping or breastfeeding per se, and cut down on the formula intake, because we know breastfeeding is the ideal nutrition for our NICU infants that are compromised, and we will help them to stay healthy.
Okay. Tell us more about why breastfeeding is ideal specifically for NICU infants.
We all know of the many benefits of breastfeeding, and more so with our vulnerable population, which is the premature babies. And the benefits that would be of great importance to these babies would be, number one, breast milk or colostrum would coat their intestinal tract and would help prevent NEC. And that literature has shown that this has been a true benefit of breast milk.
Okay, and you just referred to a condition called NEC, and some of our watchers may not know what that is.
Okay.
Explain what NEC is.
In simple layman's terms, this is when the baby's guts die.
It's called necrotizing enterocolitis.
Correct.
And breast milk has immune protection for the lining of their baby's guts, which is called oligosaccharides, and it kind of covers the lining of the mucosa, so the bacteria will not be attached onto it, and therefore baby could have healthy guts and be able to tolerate feedings using breast milk.
And so too, mothers at this point, it's hard to bond with a baby that you cannot hold. So breastfeeding, the fact that she's giving something that we as nurses or even doctors cannot give the baby, she can give her breast milk, which is tailored for that baby.
And it starts from the beginning, actually. Our low birth weight infants, they cannot be fed yet. We use the colostrum for oral care just to coat their mouth with it, and they swallow it, and it starts from there.
Okay. And colostrum lasts for a short while, right?
It does.
Yes.
It does.
But you'd like to have these babies breastfeeding at discharge, correct?
Correct.
So this is a
Exactly.
long-term
Correct.
kind of behavior you want
We
to
want
encourage.
not only moms to initiate breastfeeding, but also the duration. If we can have the moms pumping or doing breastfeeding up until discharge and beyond that, that would be great.
And one of the things you pointed out, you just said pumping or breastfeeding. One of the things you pointed out is that sometimes the mother cannot hold her baby to actually put the baby to the breast,
Correct.
or the baby can't suck. So that in the NICU, promoting breastfeeding sometimes really means promoting pumping. Is that correct?
That is correct. So in this tool, in this study, we will be defining breastfeeding as not just putting the baby physically to the breast and the baby latching on and sucking, but also the mom's pumping to get that breast milk and giving that pumped breast milk to the baby. That's breastfeeding.
And also we promote skin to skin. So if the baby cannot breastfeed yet because of their gestation, we'll try our best to get the baby on the mom's chest and promote breast milk production for the mom, and enhances bonding with the mom and the baby as well.
Okay, good. Well, that certainly explains to us why it's significant that babies should breastfeed. And the purpose of the tool then is to identify barriers to breastfeeding so that you can, I take it, intervene in a timely manner. So what did you learn from your literature review about other, excuse me, what did you learn in your literature review about other tools? Is there a tool like this? What else is out there to help us assess breastfeeding success?
We have, with the help of our librarians, we have searched the web for tools relevant or related to our study. And we've found some tools that measures breastfeeding, but not exactly this kind of tool that we
Want to measure.
yes, we have developed and we'll want to make use of in terms of barriers to breastfeeding.
Okay.
Not just barriers, but motivators too.
Okay. So you might want to just say influences, things that influence
Affecting breastfeeding.
the mothers one way or the other, for good or
Yes.
for ill. And I want to clarify just a minute. The librarians helped you look on the web. They looked in scholarly databases too, I
Correct.
believe,
Correct.
when, as I remember your literature review.
Yes.
So you really did a thorough search. Well, tell us how you set about developing the tool. I know that the entire development of the tool is not finished, but you have done quite a bit of work on it so far. So what were your first steps?
Well, the first step was gathering the team together.
That means the three of us at the start.
Yeah, at the onset, and then we've added some more new members like Azanet Torres.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we've searched the literature. We've read and read and read and read, and finally came together as a group and talked about factors. And now we've divided those factors into, what did you call them again? Categories.
Right.
We call them subscales, but
Subscales.
factors is a great word to describe what you're talking
Right.
about.
So we have divided that into 4 factors, and these are, number 1, maternal factors. These are anything or factors that would
That
affect
affects mom.
breastfeeding in terms of mom. That's like pain, her culture, her
Family.
significant others, her family. So that's maternal factors. Next is infant factor. So this has something to do with the infant.
Right.
If the infant is sick, does it
Diagnosis.
motivate the mom to
Right.
breastfeed?
Mhm.
If she can hold the infant close to her, would this motivate her?
Right.
If she's away from the infant, would this be something that would deter her from breastfeeding? So that is infant factor. The third one is healthcare personnel. So these are the nurses,
And the
the
doctors.
doctors,
Lactation
consultants, which has a direct influence on the mom breastfeeding, But then again, there are several ways these health personnel would be telling mom how to breastfeed. So is this affecting her? And the last one is NICU environment. It's a little bit cozy sometimes. Is this a factor affecting her breastfeeding? Privacy.
Yeah,
Is
the
there
setup
Right.
in the unit,
Is there enough pumping machines to do
screens.
that? So maternal factors, infant factors, health personnel factors, and NICU environment factors.
Okay. And you have a number of items in each of those subscales so that you can
Exactly.
assess maternal factors, NICU environment factors, and so forth. I know that you wrote that tool and then you rewrote it and you rewrote it a number of times.
Yes.
So the tool you currently have is draft maybe, I don't know, number 6
40.
or 7.
To the point that we all agreed.
Finally, everybody agreed on what sounded like it should be in there.
Exactly.
And what else have you done with it so far?
We have given it to people.
Yeah, a practice run of the tool.
Yes.
And we had moms in random. We would like to know how long does it take for them to answer this tool.
Because how many items are on your tool?
40 now.
40.
Okay.
And there were, how many people did we
8.
have? 8. And we have different results. Most of them did it in a few minutes time, between less than 10 minutes. And some of them...
I think the longest was 10 minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes actually, the shortest. I was surprised. And then we had some feedback that it's too long, right? And what other feedbacks did we have? I think that's all I could remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more acceptable than having hindrance.
And other than the target subject or responders, we have also given it to one doctor who is or was, I think, a director of the Tarrant County Milk Bank. So I think she's an expert, and she has given a lot of inputs that were, integrated into the final tool. And another is a lactation dietitian. And she also made some comments about the tool. Another is a lactation consultant slash bedside NICU nurse. So she has given me inputs too.
And the rest are moms?
And a NICU mom who is also a staff nurse at the unit right now.
So what that means is that you've got some, what we call content validity, because you had content experts review your tool. But you also now know that this is a tool that's quickly done, which is amazing, a 40-item tool in 10 minutes. So that's pretty good. What's your next steps? What do you plan to do with it now?
We have decided to get our proposal put together for the IRB to hopefully approve it. And as soon as we hear from them, we hopefully can get started in maybe January of 2015.
Okay.
And we can do another set of pilot testing.
Yes.
And then from among those pilot tests, or respondents doing the pilot test, we could probably ask 6, 8
for the
moms
interview.
for cognitive interview. This is when we would sit down and ask the mom how they found the tool itself. Like we would go item per item and see if the way they understood the item is the way we like them to understand the item. So we'll do that.
Okay, good.
And then we will collect data from there. And then hopefully we can get 300 moms be participating, so we have enough to validate our study.
Right, and the validation you're talking about is the factor analysis. So
And the reliability.
you want enough to see if the structure of the tool is what you think it is.
Right.
And you guys have a really good idea of how this tool is, how you think it's structured. So that'll be interesting. And then you'll also see how reliable it is. And that will conclude your first study, right?
Exactly.
First phase of the study.
First phase of the
phase.
study. But then you have one other thing. You want to see if this tool predicts, correct?
Correct. And we
Okay.
just talked about how after giving the mom the tool and the mom responding, or after administering the tool, we would, at the point of discharge, go back into the baby's chart and see if this particular mom is still breastfeeding. So now then we can say, okay, this is what she said on the tool,
The start.
and then is she still breastfeeding, or is she not breastfeeding anymore?
Okay.
And we will find out what caused the decision to stop breastfeeding, so we can come up with intervention to hopefully in the future moms will not have to go through the same barriers.
Right. Okay. Very interesting. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
I just thought I'd point out a little side to this, which is that Larnie works in 2 hospitals, and another member of the research team works in 2 hospitals. So this will ultimately be a multi-site study. We will use subjects from 2 different NICUs and 2 different healthcare systems.
Correct.
And I think a member of your healthcare team is also an honor student from one of the local universities, right?
Yes.
So you have a nice diverse team and 2 different hospitals where you're going to do this. I think it'll be a really interesting study.
And we're very grateful that Dr. Newcomb is in this study. She is guiding us from the start, and we haven't finished yet, so we're looking forward for this study to get done.
It will be fun. It will take a while, but it will be fun.
We're there with you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the reception.
Thank you.